Hello?
What's up, girl? What happened after Tony dumped you?
Girl, I'm over it. I went from heartbreak to hate.
Hi, Joy.
Hey, Bob.
Oh, hi, Tom.
Hi, Lori.
Today we're Petties.
We are Petties. I'm Tom Petty.
And I'm Lori Petty, and we're here to be as petty as we possibly can because it's the Petty Shit Show.
Mm-hmm. So just
Volume 1.
Brace yourself. Strap in. Strap on.
So, if you were in the pettiest little pet shop, what would be your first petty?
Oh,
hit?
my first petty, because I know just how petty this is, and I understand that it's laced with privilege, and I don't give a good fuck.
Ooh.
To the skank ass bitch at the motherfucking who doesn't know the difference between a regular croissant and a motherfucking almond croissant, which is what I wanted with motherfucking sugar and almonds and nuts. I like nuts, okay?
On her face and her mouth.
All of that shit. I cursed the day you were born, bitch, because I assumed, I understand that was my mistake, but I assumed that a bitch would know the difference between a regular croissant and an almond croissant. So I paid extra dollars, insane dollars, took the bag, didn't look.
For almond paste, by the way.
Listen, right.
Okay.
Got to my office, there was no goddamn almonds, and my feelings were so hurt, and I cursed her under the sun.
That's pretty petty.
It is. Listen, I said I was going to be petty. I said I was taking it there. I don't give a fuck. Top that.
I don't know if I can top that. Would you have to quote that movie towards me?
I did. I'm sorry.
That's very petty of you.
So I did my job.
What is pettiness this week? I'm trying to think of something that I've actually been really petty about.
You gonna sit here and look at me with a straight face? Like, you have to think about it.
What?
What? I'm never petty.
I'm not petty. I'm a bitch.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I'm too important to myself to think of petty things.
Oh my God. Okay.
So, what pettiness do I have? So, I am thoroughly over human beings in general. And I'm starting to begin to dislike all human beings more than I used to. Like, have some that I liked. Like, in general, I would give a pass to, I think.
Okay.
And I just start thinking everyone's starting to piss me off. Just in general. And I feel that's pretty petty. I mean, I don't have like any special...
You don't even have like a petty ass reason behind it? Like,
no, I think that's the pettiest part of it. Is that I was just like, I can't even put like a name. It has nothing to do with the almond croissant. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just that like, that's what it is my oxygen level.
Okay.
I need more oxygen. There's more people. People are taking that oxygen that is set aside for me.
Okay.
And I want to be petty about it.
I feel it. Listen, okay.
A big bitch needs more oxygen. Do you know how long it takes oxygen to travel through my body with all these extra veins in it? A long ass time. That's why big people need more oxygen. So.
You could start a more oxygen movement. I would support you.
Actually, I started drinking liquid oxygen. Did I tell you that?
You did not tell me that.
Yeah.
That's not a fucking thing.
It's a thing. It's in the kitchen. You want to try one? Like, make you a...
I guess. Do you remember when they used to have... Okay, this is a departure from the petty, but don't worry, kids. We'll come back.
We'll get back there.
Do you remember when they used to have little oxygen bars?
Yeah.
Yeah, where you could like strap the shit on your face and you could breathe flavored oxygen and shit.
Why not?
If that is not the most privileged ass
I mean, I'm...
shit ever. But I was high as a fucking kite the one time I got to try it.
Well, yeah, because it's like pure oxygen.
Exactly.
Oh, that sparked something in me, though.
Uh-oh. Watch out.
My pettiness over the world's inability to deal with my vanilla-ness.
Yes, that is a problem.
I just need people to understand
that is a problem.
That vanilla comes from the slit throat of an ancient Mexican goddess. Look it up. You'll see that it's true. And you'll understand that vanilla is not boring.
No.
I don't know I don't know chocolate didn't come from the beheading of a goddess.
Okay, here's how my pettiness manifests itself.
Ooh.
When I go to a place, yes, of my own free will, that's besides the point, right? Coffee place or whatever, because those are the places that charge you $1 million, but you're a fucking addict. By you, I mean me. So, going to the coffee place, spend entirely too much money. Yes, I am going to take 25 of your goddamn napkins and straws. I just ordered a hot drink. I don't need straws, but I might need them later. And that is some petty ass shit. But I'm like trying to make the dollars make more sense by getting supplies.
Because that kid had the nerve to give you 3 equals when he knew in your head you needed 8.
I was like, look at me. Do I look like 3 equals is going to last in this large ass motherfucking iced tea? No, bitch. And so I looked at the black girl and I was like, I'm going to need more equals. She was like, I know. Thank you. Yes, you do know.
That's just because white people don't have a certain level of sweetness that black people understand. Maybe
so. It's going back to the Coke versus Pepsi of it all. Do we have to explain that? So white people like Coke, black people like Pepsi. Pepsi is sweeter. This is the reason why.
That is the reason why. And if you take the Pepsi challenge back in the day, I mean, you could definitely tell which was Coke and which was Pepsi.
Oh, absolutely.
And Coke, while as a Caucasian person, I do enjoy.
Right.
Pepsi does have a place with me, especially as a white person with stomach issues. And Pepsi is not possibly a medicine. It's not a medicine, people. And you probably should not be using it as medicine. Don't use it as medicine. But if it does the same things as like a Pepsid or other things would do, while also tasting sweet and drinking.
Sweet and costing less.
Yes, and costing way less.
Then go for it.
Except for diabetes.
I'm sorry. It's not funny, but it is.
It's funny because we're fat and we're going to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
So fuck it.
Oh, shit. Okay, sorry.
So I'm always petty. I said I would say this while we were discussing it off the air, but I'm always petty when I'm wrong.
Yes, you do not receive being wrong well at all. First of all,
you talk like it's 20, like it happens every day.
Oh, okay.
Let's be real.
It happens maybe twice a year, according to Bob. But
twice a year, blue moons. Go ahead.
As I was saying, first thing you do.
She doesn't like to be interrupted.
I don't.
Petty about it.
I get very petty about it because you always try to shut me down. In the event that I might possibly be correct, you get real upset about it, and you never acknowledge it. That is the super pettiness of it all. If you are actually wrong, you do not acknowledge it. Now, when I'm wrong, I'll go, "Hey, Bob, you were correct. My bad." Blah blah blah.
And I'll take that little arrow and
you
put it in my pocket.
You don't even take it with any kind of humility. You're like, "I know," and then. But more Bob-like.
Right.
But nonetheless, that's how you are. And when you're wrong, it's like motherfucking crickets. Like, just silence. Hold on. Like that. That's Bob being wrong.
Okay.
So, okay. Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with it, other than the fact that it was my topic to talk about me being petty. But I acknowledge that I'm petty on those rare occasions that I'm wrong.
Okay. That's the first step. Thank you.
Actually, I don't acknowledge that. I acknowledge that there are facts that I may not have taken into consideration with the discussion.
Wow. That the pettiness just continues. Did you see? You just went into a petty within a petty.
Yeah, tell you,
right
I'm Lori Petty in League of Their Own. I'm
extra.
I'm an extra petty. I got on the team because of my sister, but I'm still gonna be a brat about it and still be jealous about her being beautiful and doing the splits and all that stuff. Still gonna do it. My sister's gonna quit the team and I'm still gonna be mad about it.
Okay.
I get traded to another team. I'm still mad. I'm Lori Petty up in this bitch.
All right. I know. I'm gonna tell you something that I feel petty about.
What's that?
Every time I get my motherfucking power bill, and they have the audacity to want more funds. First of all, because I feel like sometimes they don't really check the goddamn meters. They just throw a motherfucking dart at the wall and decide, you owe $80 this month as opposed to $60. I think they look at they kind of guesstimate based on weather and shit.
Yeah.
So they just look at basically, okay, was it 90 degrees 20 times this month? Good, then let's charge her twice as much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they really look at, did I use the shitty ass window unit in my apartment? No, they don't. But that's okay. That's fine, because you don't have a choice. You got to pay them.
No choice at all.
And that's the other thing they fucking know is you don't have a goddamn choice.
Well, let me tell you something, Joy, about your pettiness. Some people in other parts of this state alone would enjoy to have the electric bill that you have because based on our population, our electric bills are smaller.
Mm-hmm. So that's supposed to make me feel better.
No.
Okay. I mean, I guess if I wasn't being petty, it would make me feel better, but it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is like bills alone, the fees, like my water bill, not to sound like we're really sounding old when we're being petty. Our pettiness is all about our bills. No, my water bill, like I use like $11 in water. And my water bill is $40 a month.
Absolutely, it is.
So it's the service fee, the whatever fee, the travel, the water to get to your fee.
We're a broke ass company. We don't know how to manage our shit fee.
And why are utility bill companies and like car payment companies? Why are we still charging fees for using the internet to pay you? Why are you still charging me more money for me to give you money quicker?
Because we're still making. Oh, you just made me think about another petty thing. Because we're not going to give up making all that extra money we've been making all these years just because it doesn't cost us anything. Right. If we can get $8 extra, then we're going to get $8 extra.
Like, I don't have to pay Tammy to sit down there and open an envelope, take out a check, take the check to the bank. I don't have to. You don't have to pay for any of that. But yet you're going to give me $1.95 charge.
Absolutely.
Or $9.95 in some cases.
We're going to charge you more money to make our lives more simple. Are you kidding me?
The Americanization of everything. Petty.
I feel petty as fuck, and I'm always trying to figure out how to circumvent the system when I think about having to go to an airport. And that as soon as it came out with the no water rule, you know what I mean? You can't have no fucking liquids. I was, as soon as that happened, because it was not long after 9/11, right, that rule got instituted, I said, they're never going to go back.
No.
Because they're going to make $1 million trillion from bitches buying $7 ass waters.
It's just like the fucking gas prices.
Exactly.
Oh, after this war is over, we'll go back to the gas prices being $1.99 an hour. No, it's never gone back, and that's been 18 years now. So this just becomes a standard of life, and you just have to deal with it. And they're just like, okay, well, now they're used to it, so we'll just go ahead and stick with it.
The toll roads in Chicago. My mom used to tell me when she was alive, she was like, I remember when they built these and they told us it was temporary so they could do what they initially needed to do. Bitches have been there for 1,000,000 years. They still don't have any goddamn money in Chicago.
And you know why? Because they're not even owned by Chicago. They're owned by corporations.
That's right, because they sold all that out when they sold the parking.
Things, yes, so they can charge whatever they want to charge for whatever exit, because this may be owned by Joy. This one may be owned by Bob. And hey, if I had a toll booth, that motherfucker would be $10.50.
Sure.
And I would have all the restaurants and all the bathrooms on my exit. Like, you can't, you gotta pee, your kid's hungry, $10.50.
Not even with you.
No, it can't be even, because I want you to fuck up and not have enough cash, or have to break another dollar. You thought you were just gonna slide by throwing a 10 in this bitch? No, I want an extra dollar to have to break and pay and get you 50 cents back.
Ooh, your petty is impressive. Can I bow before your petty?
I would love you to bow before my pettiness, because I don't think the kids at home understand how petty I can be.
No, it's next level.
My pettiness goes into like revenge, like it like lends over into like dark witchcraft about murder and stuff like that. Like, I used to be a really petty bitch, like, cross my lanes.
I'm not gonna cross nothing. Okay, I'll take it all back.
I'll pick up a chicken on the way home, wring its neck, toss its bloody body into your yard. I don't condone murdering chickens like that, people.
Right. We hope they know that. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank now.
So Joy has the nerve to think this is free therapy.
I do, and I'm appreciating it.
I'm feeling really petty about it.
I'm sorry. I guess I wasn't supposed to laugh there.
No. I mean, I think that there's lots of people who maybe are a little more petty. I had a case recently at a place where I work, my job, where someone was angry at somebody, so they sent in this person's social media and was like, this person needs to lose ... because they were mean to me on social media.
Now see.
Yeah.
No. That is absolutely ridiculous. I do not understand.
No, I'm gonna give you the situation, because the situation there, I don't know. It's harsh. It's horrible thing to say to somebody,
but they were not at work.
But it is something I've always wanted to say to somebody, even though it's the harshest thing possible. I will admit to that. I admit to my petty level. So this girl on social media said to this other girl, "Fuck your mother." Just like, fuck your mom. Like, fuck you and fuck your mom. And then the girl came back to her and said, "My mom has passed away." And so the girl retorts back to her, "Well, fuck your dead mother."
Wow, okay. So she did not turn.
She did not turn sad. She did not, like, lose anything.
She was like, she doubled down.
Yeah, and so then this person was like, "Look at this horrible human being that, because it won't say where I work, but like, so do something about this person." It's like, while, yes, that's probably not something you should say to people.
No, still wasn't at work.
Still wasn't like a work situation. Still wasn't like a situation in which, social media, that's where pettiness lives.
It is. Okay, but yes. Don't remind me. I have another thing about work. We can come back to it though.
Okay.
Because that is the problem. I feel like this is going to be controversial, but because people say something stupid on social media, right? And then everybody they cheer and have applause when that person loses their job. And it's like, I guess in certain situations it could be tied, but I don't think, like, Joe Blow works at motherfucking Chicken Shack 172, right? And in his personal life, he's a dick. And he says misogynistic things. Well, that's not good, but I don't know that him doing that, it does not affect your motherfucking chicken. If he's not, calling you a slut and this and that and the other as you're trying to pick up your order, I don't think that he has to lose his job over that.
No, if he says that wearing a chicken suit trying to sell chicken,
then hey,
goodbye.
You're fired, sir. Yeah. But it's like, so now we want to live in this world where everything that you do around the clock is
something that will have a consequence.
Has consequence to your
Absolutely.
job. Like, that doesn't really make sense to me. Like I said, I'm sure there are cases where it does, but a lot of the time, no.
Yeah, I mean, what does it mean to? I don't know.
Because that's like the petty of it all. Is people just want to really destroy your whole motherfucking life if you make a wrong move.
And wrap that in a social justice situation. Like, it's not just, we're not being petty. This person just is a horrible person and he deserves to not have a job now. He needs to be a homeless person, a horrible person.
Yeah. And it's like he's already getting threats online. He's already, being trashed online. And it's just like there's, can't go anywhere, especially if there's a picture of you. You can't go anywhere without people taunting you. It's like, well, how much is that really teaching somebody? Or is that just making that, you're not going to learn from that. You know what I mean? I feel you would just turn into a bitter motherfucker.
I mean, I feel that this is what creates world evil. Someone who's going to rally a bunch of people and go kill a bunch of people. That kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
You can mess with a lot of things, but when you take people's jobs away from them, even if it's a shitty ass job, they don't like it. And that is petty. But yeah, I mean, I think that's a lot of the social media is pettiness.
It is, and people thrive on it.
Because I didn't get enough likes. Someone delete this picture and post a new picture. Circling back.
Circling back to Petty in the workplace. Now I have.
That'd be a good television show. Petty in the workplace.
That would be amazing. Just all the different ways you could like sneak your pettiness. You know, people aren't necessarily aware. Now, once upon a time, kids, I had a shitty manufacturing job. Office job, but nonetheless in a manufacturing environment, and my boss was 12 years old. So this 12-year-old boss tried to deny me, by the way, I'm a grown-ass woman, I've been working, always get my job done, I excel at what I do, you know what I mean, all these kinds of things. But he tried to deny, like he thought, like, you have all this time off, and he was like, oh, well, you can't really use these two, and did not have a valid reason for it. And I was like, okay, that's absolutely fine. I got you. And then I was like, okay, let's do that. But now my petty ass will figure out all the ways to fuck you and do, you know what I mean? Like, if you do me and you don't have a good reason behind it, oh, I'm going to do you better. Trust and believe. So then you're just magically sick.
Absolutely.
A few times a month, you know, just sitting at the desk, you know, writing the next great American novel and shit. Not really, but I'm like, oh, little do you know, little 12-year-old boy, that this is not in your best interest. And it was really just because he was mad at me because I spoke up in a meeting.
Right.
And, you know, they were busy talking about the integrity of a company. And I was like, I find that intriguing that, you know, integrity is one of our values, seeing as how we just get rid of people left and right, this and the other, because we want the shareholders to have an increase. It was just like one of those. And he was like, next thing you know, it was like he was like giving me no to everything. I was like, oh, okay, but you can't win this game. Your petty cannot out-petty mine. And you sit 2 hours away? Let's play.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is pettiness in the workplace is a top priority. Like, I've always said I can be the most amazing employee possible, or I can be the worst employee possible. So let's pick your poison and pick your level of pettiness, because I will play that out.
I think supervisors don't think about that sometimes.
No, I mean, and I think that it's just, yeah, it's one of those things you don't think about because you feel that you're following, as a supervisor of people, you feel like you're following rules, and those rules aren't your rules, those are rules of other people, so therefore, why should anybody be pissed off at you because they're not your rules and blah, 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 blah. But you are the embodiment of the establishment. So you're actually, whether you wrote those rules 150 years ago when they were established or not, people are still mad at you.
And that's true, but I would say it's also the personality that goes into it. You know what I mean? It's the spirit behind which you enforce the rules.
Right.
To me.
Yeah.
Because I'll take it if it's a workplace thing, and if it's genuinely in writing and genuinely not something you have control over. But if you're just kind of leaning into your dickheadedness, then now that's when we have problems. You see what I'm saying?
I guess I should never be in a position of supervising Joy.
That would be best.
I think that would not be a good thing. Yeah.
But I don't feel that you're like that as a supervisor.
I am. I'm an asshole, and I don't care.
There's a difference because you just want people to do their job. That's different. Isn't that?
That's too much to ask. It really is.
I know it is.
Yes, that's what drives my assholeness. Is I just want people to work.
Yes.
I want people to put in at least 75% of what I'm putting in. So.
I feel that that's a different case than what we're talking about.
Yes.
But you just wanted to be the asshole, but no, really you're just a good worker, and that's different.
But yeah, no, but I feel like I'm good at being an asshole. So.
When necessary. And listen, we all should have a little bit of that in us.
Well, wouldn't you rather have something in your asshole?
Me? No. That's a strong
Hallelujah.
no.
Hallelujah.
This is a strong no. Okay.
Let's not get into the no prostate discussion.
We're not going to get into that.
Okay,
we've already preached that good news.
So I know we've discussed this a couple months ago on the podcast, at least I believe so. Maybe in the radio show. I can't remember now. We've had so many shows.
We have. It's a blur.
It's a blur sometimes. But recently going to a funeral for a family member and felt extremely petty towards the fact that the minister did not know my uncle at all. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that that's cool.
Well, so no, it's not cool. Especially when apparently he acknowledged, just brought it out into the open that he didn't know him.
Did not know him. But yeah.
It's like if you were asked to do it and you agreed to, then...
Well, there was circumstances in which he asked my cousin to write, some stuff about my uncle that he could read, and then he just never read any of it.
Oh.
So it was complete disregard, and then turned into a I'm here to save your soul type situation, in which somebody
I feel about that.
had to get up and actually go and say something about him from the family standpoint, being myself, but which triggered other people to say things at the graveside. But I just feel that don't take the job. Mm-hmm. Don't I know that it's money, and I know that it's a chance to get somebody in your congregation, but I feel really petty about that, I guess, because it's 2 weeks. It's only been a week and a half, but still, I'm like, it's still driving me crazy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing, is because I think sometimes ministers who, a lot of ministers probably have to do, they deal with funerals a lot more than the average person, right?
Right.
Because you're being asked to do them, perform them. And I think after a while, they just don't think about how their actions can be perceived by the grieving. You know what I mean? Because I will try not to go into too much detail, but I have had to walk out of both of my parents' funerals because ministers just get carried away and they go into their own fucking zone, and it's turned into their own personal Broadway show. You know what I mean? Where they're trying to get a supporting cast to come and join their congregation, and it's like, that doesn't have shit to do with me having to bury a parent right now. So please shut the fuck up. Do what the fuck you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So I just think that some switch goes off in their head, and they just don't even think about the people that are like. Well,
it's about what you're capable of doing as a minister. Mm-hmm. You're not capable as a minister to someone who's grieving.
Right.
That just shows that you're incapable of doing that. In which that's a big aspect of being a minister, is someone who can get people through hard times and talk them through it. And sometimes just saying that they're with Jesus ain't enough. Mm-hmm. And whatever. I don't know. I feel really petty about it, and so I was really snappy about it after the funeral, and told my mom that if I wasn't cremated, and then if I had a minister come to my funeral, that I would fucking haunt her.
that is the petty way.
That is and you know what? I would be the pettiest ghost. Mm-hmm. That would be a good television show too. The pettiest ghost. The pettiest
ghost. We've got great show ideas, kids.
So, and then just do everything. I just fuck up her Christmas. Every time she puts a Santa out at Christmas, knock it over like I'm a cat. I already got it planned out, Mom. So if you don't get that shit together and let me just be dust without the Jesus, dust without the Jesus. That's what I want on my menu for the funeral.
It's funny, we've ordered similar things. I've also asked to be cremated, and I have named acceptable people to speak. Yes, because I said the last thing on the planet that I want is a black funeral. I am not here for it.
The only person that's allowed to speak at my funerals is Barack Obama.
Oh shit, that would be amazing.
I mean, he's already said he'd do it.
Mm-hmm. Clearly.
Well, I mean, that's what Michelle told me.
I can't with you. The level of lies that
You know what's petty, though? Petty is telling an entire department at the engineering, spreading a rumor that Barack Obama's going to come and speak at their graduation, and then him not even acknowledging or ever thinking about coming to the university to speak at that's petty. I don't know anybody that would ever do that to the engineering department last year. But the rumor went around and he never came.
Uh-oh.
But he's coming this week.
Yay!
And remember that to be beautiful and natural is the birthright of every woman. And I wish you all loads and loads of loveliness and good luck.